For decades, John Travolta rarely addressed his relationship with Scientology directly, choosing silence over spectacle. When conversations resurfaced following renewed public attention around the church, Travolta responded with restraint rather than shock. He did not accuse, attack, or dramatize his experience. Instead, he spoke thoughtfully about personal growth, belief, and boundaries. His words reflected a man who had spent years weighing loyalty against self-reflection. Travolta acknowledged that his spiritual journey had once offered structure during overwhelming periods of fame and loss, but also admitted that beliefs can evolve. He emphasized the importance of personal responsibility in choosing what remains helpful and what no longer fits. Rather than presenting himself as a victim or whistleblower, he framed his story as one of reassessment. It was not a dramatic break, but a quiet recalibration, signaling maturity instead of rebellion, searching for meaning amid sudden fame. In the mid-1970s, John Travolta was a young actor navigating sudden recognition and intense pressure. Fame arrived quickly, bringing expectations he was not emotionally prepared to manage alone. Like many young performers, he looked for tools that promised clarity and grounding. Scientology entered his life during this period, offering structured ideas about self-awareness and discipline. So, Travolta has said he was drawn not by celebrity culture, but by the promise of personal understanding. The system appealed to his desire for order amid chaos, especially as public attention grew louder. At the time, it felt practical rather than mystical, something that offered focus when the industry felt unpredictable. Travolta's involvement deepened naturally as his career expanded. For years, he credited aspects of the philosophy with helping him manage confidence, anxiety, and professional pressure during formative stages of his rise. When belief meets reflection, as the years passed, John Travolta's life became shaped less by ambition and more by responsibility. Personal loss, family, priorities, and aging brought new perspectives that challenged earlier certainties. Like many people who commit to belief systems early, he began quietly reassessing what still aligned with his values. Travolta never publicly rejected Scientology, but he also stopped presenting it as the central force in his life. Friends and observers noticed subtle changes rather than dramatic statements. He spoke more about balance, emotional health, and personal choice. This shift did not come from scandal, but from lived experience. Tragedy has a way of refining belief, stripping ideas down to what truly sustains. For Travolta, reflection replaced certainty. Growth replaced rigidity. His journey illustrates how faith can evolve without collapsing, changing shape rather than disappearing entirely. Fame could not protect him. While belief systems may guide the mind, they cannot shield the heart from loss. In 2009, John Travolta faced unimaginable grief when his teenage son passed away during a family vacation. The tragedy reshaped everything. Career concerns faded instantly, replaced by the reality of mourning as a parent. Travolta withdrew from public life, not out of fear but necessity. He focused on his family and on surviving something no role could prepare him for. Years later, he would face another devastating loss when his wife passed away after a private illness. Through both tragedies, Travolta rarely spoke publicly, choosing dignity over explanation. These moments defined him far more than any belief or organization. Loss clarified what mattered. It reduced life to presence, love, and responsibility. Fame offered no comfort. Only family and time did, public scrutiny and private resilience. Being famous means personal struggles often unfold under public interpretation. Over the years, John Travolta faced rumors, headlines, and moments of embarrassment that tested his resilience. He addressed controversies sparingly, refusing to let speculation define his identity. When mistakes happened, he acknowledged them with humility rather than defensiveness. His approach remained consistent. Do not fight noise with noise. Travolta understood that public attention moves quickly, and dignity often outlasts reaction. While some moments bruised his image temporarily, they also revealed a quieter strength. He did not chase reinvention through controversy, nor did he attempt to control narratives aggressively. Instead, he allowed time to do its work. This restraint earned him respect from those who recognized emotional discipline. His story reflects the reality that resilience is not loud. It is steady, patient, and deeply personal. Remembering the star before fame, complicated his life. John Travolta was simply a boy who loved performance. Growing up in New Jersey, surrounded by siblings and encouraged by a creative mother, he discovered joy in expression early. Family performances, dance lessons, and school plays shaped his confidence long before Hollywood noticed him. That early love for the craft never disappeared, even when success distorted it. Travolta has often spoken fondly of those years, when acting felt pure and hopeful. They remind him why he began in the first place. When later chapters grew heavy, those memories grounded him. They offered a reminder that identity existed before fame and remains after it fades. This connection to his roots continues to influence how he chooses projects and lives his life today, with less urgency and more intention. A career that refused to end. John Travolta's professional journey is marked not by constant success, but by survival. After early superstardom, he faced rejection and career decline that many believed would be permanent. Yet he never stopped working, learning, or waiting for the right moment. When opportunity returned, he embraced it with humility rather than entitlement. His later performances reflected depth, shaped by hardship, not nostalgia. Travolta proved that reinvention does not require erasing the past. It requires understanding it. His career stands as a lesson in endurance, showing that timing and patience matter as much as talent. Hollywood may move on quickly, but it sometimes circles back to those who remain prepared. Travolta's ability to return was not luck. It was persistence, quiet, professionalism, and respect for the craft that sustained him. Fatherhood became the center. Today, John Travolta defines success differently. Fatherhood stands at the center of his life, shaping his daily priorities and long-term decisions. He has spoken openly about the responsibility of being present, patient, and emotionally available for his children. Fame no longer dictates his schedule. Family does. Travolta approaches parenting with intention, shielding his children from unnecessary exposure while offering guidance rooted in experience. His role as a father reflects growth earned through loss. Love became active rather than assumed. He values routine, conversation, and shared moments over achievement. This chapter of life is quieter, but more meaningful. It reveals a man no longer chasing validation, but offering stability. In this role, Travolta found something fame never gave him: peace that does not depend on applause. Finding freedom beyond the screen. Outside of acting, John Travolta discovered balance through aviation, a passion that offered focus and calm. Flying became more than a hobby. It became a space where identity was not defined by public perception. In the cockpit, discipline replaces noise, and attention becomes singular. Travolta has often described flying as grounding, a place where pressure dissolves into responsibility and presence. Aviation offered control without ego, structure without spectacle. It allowed him to exist beyond celebrity, reconnecting with skill and precision. This passion also became a bridge to his children, passing on curiosity and confidence. In a life shaped by visibility, flying offered privacy. It remains one of the few spaces where he feels completely himself, untouched by expectation or narrative. A life lived more quietly. Now, at 71, John Travolta lives with intention rather than urgency. He chooses projects selectively, values privacy deeply, and invests energy where it truly matters. His life today is smaller in scale, but richer in meaning. Reflection has replaced ambition. Gratitude has replaced hunger. He no longer needs to prove relevance because his legacy is secure. Travolta's journey is not defined by controversy or belief, but by endurance, adaptation, and humanity. He has experienced extraordinary highs and devastating lows, yet continues forward with grace. His story reminds us that fame amplifies life, but does not protect it. When the noise fades, what remains is character. And that, more than any role, is what defines John Travolta now.